Hello, everybody. Welcome to our YouTube live stream. We have a very special guest today. He's actually not here yet, but I can see the back end of this. So I'm hoping you guys will put up with me for a little while, and then I will see him down underneath this chat. But his name is Kabir. He is a cruise director, cruise YouTuber, podcaster, all kinds of things. A very, very interesting guy. Recently, I was talking to him for his podcast, and we kind of were just talking after the podcast, and I thought, this is really interesting. How about we stop this conversation, we go live on YouTube, and then we carry on again. So that is the plan for this live stream. If you do have questions for us, if you can start it with questions in capital letters, please do let me know. And if you know where Kabir is, please let me know. I remember quite a while ago, I did a live stream with Jay from Ship Life. I think he was 35 minutes into the live stream before he came. So that is kind of the record to beat for these live streams. But hopefully you guys won't mind talking to me. Hopefully you won't mind talking to me. It's really nice for me to get to do this live stream. I have been editing this bike and barge video like you would. I'm even surprising myself. It has been many, many hours. My eyes feel like they are literally a square. If I close my eyes, I can see it. I can see the edit almost from memory. Yes, it is Thursday. Sorry for confusing you, but we'll be back to Friday next week. Hello to Emma and Hudson and everybody. Hello, hello. I saw someone earlier saying hello to the spanners and the spuds. I thought that was quite funny. So the spanners are our moderators who look after this chat, and the spuds, you are all spuds if you are watching this one. Yes, as Sean says, if you have a question and you can start it with question, it makes it so much easier for us to pick out, what is a question and what is just conversations. It's so nice to see all of the conversations, but I don't have too long to read. So it really, really does help me. Kitty Paws says, I'm cruising Saturday and I'm worried I've forgotten something. Have you ever forgotten anything important? As long as you have your passport and access to money. If you have a card, a credit card or something, most other things you can fix. Sometimes I forget silly things like forgetting a hairbrush, forgetting a toothbrush, stuff like that. But as long as you've got probably your COVID vaccinations as well at the minute, but as long as you've got that, your phone, because you don't want to be without your phone, and some access to money and your passport, of course. As long as you've got that, anything else you can fix. You can't replace your passport, not that easily, but you can replace it if you do forget anything like that. My hair is looking cute. Thank you so much. I had my first haircut, my first proper haircut on this new hair. It's been 3 months since I did my head shave. So yes, it almost looks like an on-purpose haircut now, which is very, very cool. Jody says, can we book through you if we are from the USA? Not at the minute. I'm working on this. At the minute, I can only book people from the UK. But it's very high on my to-do list. I would say it's like the top of my to-do list. I don't know where Kabir is. I think we've lost him. Maybe we've confused him due to the time difference. He is in Canada, and that is confusing. That is confusing. I don't know what the time is in Canada. Have you ever done any repositioning cruises and any advantages or disadvantages? I have, and I have just recently booked another one because I love them. I mean, the disadvantage is that it's more planning. It's more logistics for you. You've got to work out where you start. You've got to work out where you end. Are you going to leave? You can't really drive. Oh, I choked on nothing then. You can't really drive and leave your car there because that's not going to work. But if you're flying, it doesn't really matter if you fly into and out of a different airport. Normally, they're cheaper. That is the main advantage. And for me, it is absolutely worth it. Chili Billy, that's a cool username. Pet peeve, people leaving the towels on the pool chairs all day. Are there any cruise lines with policies on that? Yes, I think almost all of the cruise lines have policies on that. But it's whether they enforce those policies. I think Carnival are quite good at enforcing that. I think Royal Caribbean do now. But yes, I'm in favor of you shouldn't leave it for more than about 15 minutes. If I had my way, 15 minutes and it would be catapulted off the chair. It's so annoying when you're walking around a ship. You just want to sit down and it is full of towels. Yes, really, really annoying. Yeah, I don't know. He's in Toronto, if anyone knows which time zone that is. 2 a.m. in Australia. Oh my goodness. Yes, 12. That's what I was guessing, like Eastern time, but I have no idea. Yeah, Lou says the cruise line would welcome you having to buy all of your clothes on board. Oh my goodness. Yes. My goodness. Can you imagine just you don't have any clothes, so the only thing you have is merch? That would be quite funny. 5.5 time zones in Canada. Oh my goodness. My goodness. And also it's confusing with British summertime and things like that. So yes, I don't know. I don't know. But worst case scenario, we'll just do this next week and you guys can just talk to me if that's all right with you. Hopefully it's all right with you. 4 a.m. in New Zealand. Oh my goodness. John says only cruised Carnival and want more luxury. Who do you think offers the best luxury for the value? I think if you're starting with Carnival, most other cruise lines are more luxurious than Carnival. Carnival is not known for being a luxurious cruise line. Probably the ones that I would think are similar to Carnival would be sort of an MSC, maybe a Marella. But if you were to do a Celebrity, a Princess, anything like that, if you wanted to go to Azamara, to Seabourn, things like that, then that's more luxurious. But you're starting quite low on the luxury, so it's quite easy, that one. What is your Britishism for today? I don't know. Let me know. Let me know what I say that is a Britishism. I've looked at my Britishism for my bike and barge cruise so many times today. Oh, yeah. But let me know what I say, because normally the Britishisms come from you guys. You guys are the ones saying them. Since you didn't know about a bike and barge cruise, what did you think when you first got the invite? When I got the email, I mean, I thought, I can't cycle. What? No. That was my first thought. I mean, I can cycle. Physically, I can cycle. But I'm not used to cycling every day. Definitely not. I hadn't cycled in a good 5 years when I got that invite. Lou says, how about an update on Chuff to Bits? Chuff to Bits is always a good one. Chuff to Bits is always a good one. Please hit the like button for Emma. Yes, if you could do that, that would be really, really cool. YouTube just likes that. You know, I love doing these live streams and they're so interesting because I see the same names coming back over and over again. And I feel like you guys who come to the live streams, you know me better than anybody else. But every time I do a live stream, I lose subscribers. And I think it's just people see my face and they're like, oh, I'm reminded of her, unsubscribe, which is totally fine. I will take losing some subscribers to do these live streams because they're really good. Well, I find them really good. You don't have to find them really good. Appreciate you coming. Was spanners and spuds of Britishisms? I suppose spanner, yes. Like a wrench is a spanner, right? Like a, yeah. And spuds are just potatoes, not particularly a Britishism. Edward says, what is the best way to transfer from Heathrow to Southampton? It is to go on to emmacruises.com and type in Heathrow and read my guide on the transfer from Heathrow to Southampton, because I would be here for the rest of the hour. There's lots of options for you. You lose subscribers, that's crazy. Yeah, I think it's more because, I mean, every video I post will lose subscribers. Just statistically, when you have this many subscribers, you have to be prepared for that. But I think new people don't really subscribe to live streams because it's not, you know, they don't reach lots of new people. It's more about the people who are here. You know what I mean? So, oh, Nancy says, is the heat breaking over there? I am absolutely roasting, but it's nothing compared. If you're coming from Canada, it's nothing compared to that. I only really noticed the heat today because for these live streams, I have to kind of block out all of the light and then it gets very warm. You know, my curtains are drawn right now. You can see a bit of a reflection, but yeah, it's still warm. It's not as warm as it was. The week that I picked, I didn't really pick it. I organized about 18 months ago for this cycling cruise. And the week that I picked happened to be the hottest weekend in 40 years or something, which is crazy, crazy, crazy. Anyone who leaves after a live stream needs some help with some kind. Thank you very much. Well, hopefully more people will subscribe to the live streams now. If you're watching this, just check. Do you feel fitter after the cycling? Well, I don't know. I feel like the fitness wasn't really the problem. It wasn't so much that my legs hurt. It was more being on a cycle, being on a bike, sitting on it, you know, your wrists, you're in like a weird kind of position. That was more the struggle for me. Plus the heat. They were the hardest things. I mean, it was pretty flat where we were. Sometimes, of course, there would be a little like hill to get over a bridge or something. And I'd be like, come on, legs, go legs. But it wasn't so much, you know, I was kind of able to do that. It was the heat and it was the seat that was the biggest struggle. Yeah, Martin says, if you're traveling at present, watch out for the train strikes. My goodness, yes. When we were in Germany, yeah, €9 for a full month ticket in summer. And I've been on trains since I've come back to the UK. You would not get 20 minutes on the train for €9. Lou says, most new people on YouTube want the quick shorts or at most 10 minutes. I don't think so anymore. It used to be, and then it used to be the longer is the better. Right now, when I post a YouTube short, all of my current audience goes, what is this? This is the wrong way round. This is too fast. I get that comment a lot. But compared to TikTok and things, it's incredibly slow. But it's always been better for me to do, one 20-minute video that's everything rather than do 4 or 5 different videos. For me, of course, it's different. Matt from Royal Caribbean blog did an impression of you answering a question and started with blimey. Have you ever said blimey in your life? Yes, blimey is quite a normal thing to say. I say blimey quite a lot, I think. Probably just like, oh, blimey, like that. Hello to the cruise boys. It is nice to see you guys. Hello to everyone who is saying hello to the cruise boys. That is cool. Simon says, are you planning to go on Marella's new ship, Voyager? I haven't got any plans to, but at the minute, I've cruised on all of the Marella ships. So it's like, they've only got 4. So I've done all 4, and it'd be nice to do the next one. It definitely would. Cruise boys say, our best videos are 20 minutes, more than 25, people tend to drop off. My next one's 28. And I think, my best performing video in terms of views is probably 10 minutes. But then the next one's 25. So yeah, I think it's just how good your story is, how good your video is. Yeah, Lou says, I prefer 20 minutes from Emma and I run at 1.5. Exactly. I edit my own videos at 2 times speed. So I get so many comments that say, this is too fast. And I'm like, this is really slow for me. I can listen to myself so many times. Going on my first cruise on Virtuosa in September. Any tips? Interesting. MSC is an interesting cruise line. I think it's very easy for a first-time cruiser. I don't know. Could you give me kind of more specifics on what you want tips on? Because I don't know where to. Yeah, I need more information, please. Let me know. MSC is pretty easy. You don't need to book the shows. It's fixed dining. There's not really any dress codes. But if you have more specific questions, please let me know. I do my best to kind of answer as many questions as I can. But if you can make the questions more specific, it makes it so much easier for me to answer them in this, because we do have a set amount of time in here. Kathleen says, love the hair, great cut to shape it. Thank you. Yeah, that's what I wanted. It was hard just to kind of, you have to get through this bit when your hair is just growing outwards. There's nothing else you can do. But yeah, now it feels more like an actual haircut, and it's still a bit odd, but it's not that weird. No one will look at me and wonder what happened to me. Jim is back to being visible. Hello, Jim. I'm glad you're visible. I don't know what happened to you last week. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, no one could see Jim. Jim was there, but Jim was just invisible. One of the best days of the week is when Emma releases anything, but her live streams are stellar. Thank you so much, Jim. I am heading straight back to editing this Bike and Barge video after this, because I really want to get it done. And I'm just kind of on the, adding sound effects, fixing things like the nice bits to do at the end. So I think a couple more hours and I think it'll be ready. It'll go out for the Patreons with the early release tier first. And then 24 hours after that, it'll be public. I probably won't publish it on the weekend. If it's not out tomorrow evening, it probably will be on Monday. Cruise boys say best advice on Virtuosa would be to get tacos. I didn't do that one, but yes. Who minds Hudson when you're away? Well, this one comes with me. This one did get on a bike during the cruise, but I have other humans who look after Hudson. Hudson stays still. Other humans rotate around him. He doesn't mind, I don't think, who's looking after him. Ricky says, we've cruised on NCL a fair amount. What are your thoughts on their upcoming ship, Prima? I think it's exactly what Norwegian needed. They know what they're doing. Their last ships, pretty similar to each other. And Prima looks so different. It looks so interesting. Fingers crossed it gets a good reaction. And then I think they'll be, they already are copying the design. But I think interesting. Very, very interesting, yes. Lots of roats for the tacos. Belinda says it's Thursday, live streams are Friday. Live streams are whenever I can fit in live streams. I figure it's better that I do a live stream on a different day rather than not do one. So when I am free, I try and keep them at the same times, but sometimes the days do change. If you're not knowing when, because I don't even have powers to just know when these things are. If you are on my email list on my website, I send out a weekly kind of newsletter that says when my live stream is going to be. And if you go onto my channel, there's like an upcoming live stream section always on the front page, so you can see when it is, as long as I have scheduled it, of course. Cruise Boys Prima makes us sad. Yes, it does, but Vivo will be just as good, if not better, for sure. Have you ever found a rubber duck on a cruise? Apparently people hide them on ships for people to find. I have never found one. No, but I do know that people do this. And if you get into the right Facebook groups, it's a very, very big thing. Very, very big thing. I've never found one. I don't know if there's certain places where you would look for a rubber duck, but yeah. Victoria says, were you able to save the material on your broken camera? Yeah, thankfully, the memory card, completely fine. And I would have much preferred that the camera got smashed than the memory card, because I can replace the camera, but I cannot replace all those trips we did and all the footage that I got. So yes, the footage is fine. The camera is kind of annoying because, I mean, the lens just got smashed up, but it is almost as expensive to replace the lens as get a new one. It's pointless, really, to replace it, which is so silly, to just throw this away when it still works. But I can't use it right now because you can't see anything because it's smashed up. It is smashed up. Cruising on Emerald Princess on the 25th on a British Isles cruise out of Southampton. What is the temperature now in the UK? I think today it's probably around 25 C. The hottest we normally get is 30 degrees C, which is, I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. You're going to have a Google on that one. But yes, when we had the hottest weather ever, it got 37 degrees, which is 98 Fahrenheit. But around probably, it could be anywhere from 15 degrees Celsius. It could rain every single day and 15 degrees Celsius, or it could be 30. You know, anywhere in that range. That is the British. Thanks. 32 is 104. Really? I thought it was interesting. I've got to check some stats for my YouTube video then, for sure. Ordered Vimto squash in the States. We love it. Oh, fantastic. This is Vimto. This is Vimto. This is always, I love all of the squashes, but there's nothing quite like this one. Yeah, I think we've had a bit of a time zone miscommunication with Kabir. I haven't, or he's somewhere without internet. I don't know. But yeah, we can just do this. Yeah, I don't know. I feel bad because I know he's going to notice later and be like, oops. Yes, 40C is 104. That's more what I was thinking, because I was thinking almost 100 is how hot it got on my cycling cruise, which was 37. 37. Yeah, it's not. I see these things about double the reading at 32. It works at a point, but then it doesn't work. So yeah, 37 is 100. That's what I was thinking, yes. Mixed Vimto with sparkling water. Yes, I have a soda stream. So anything, I just like things to be fizzy. Making me thirsty, Emma. Got to walk away for a sec. That's okay. Is it weird that we watch your channel and have never been on a cruise? No, I love that. I absolutely love that. Of course, I want people to watch my channel who do cruise. But if someone's been on 50 cruises, I'm not showing them anything that's particularly new or exciting. And the fact that someone's never been on a cruise and now they know something about it, that makes me really excited. Yes. Thomas says, how was the cost of your bike and barge compared to your normal frugal big ship bookings? It depends, of course, as does every cruise, but say around 200 euros a night, which, considering the fact there's only 19 guests, you know, that's a really exclusive group. I think that's pretty good. Like, you know, I've suggested to them that they should raise their prices because they have a fixed amount of space and a really good product. So yes, we will see what happens there. But around 200 euros per night for that, which includes, you know, your food. The only thing you've got to pay for is your drinks in the bar, but it's your excursions every day. They give you the bikes, they give you the helmets, they give you everything. I'll talk more about that in my video that I'm hopefully going to have out tomorrow. It's a good one, so please do watch it. Yeah, loads of people have not been on a cruise who watch my videos, and it's cool. It's cool. That's why I saw a random rubber duck on Celebrity Infinity. Yeah, I've never seen one, but maybe if I had seen one, I wouldn't have. I don't know if I'd look at it. I would have just been like, okay. But yeah, the Facebook groups, people take on 50 rubber ducks. I do wonder what the crew think of that and what the crew do with them if they find them. But we will see. Dennis says, what is the best ferry that you've been on? I've only been on one ferry. I mean, I've done, short distance ferries, but not a fan, not a fan of the little ferries. But I took a Cilia Symphony ferry trip. The video about that is on my channel quite recently. And that had so much to offer. You wouldn't think it was a ferry. Brett says, in your opinion, when will cruise lines start allowing unvaccinated guests again? I just laughed at Jackie's comment. Kabir is a very quiet person. He's not here. So it is just me. I'm sorry about that. But I think time zones have got confused maybe with that. So we will see. But when will cruise lines start allowing unvaccinated guests again? Some of them already are. Some cruise lines are doing really short cruises. Now you can be unvaccinated. I don't really understand why cruise lines do, different rules for a 5-day cruise or a 7-day cruise. I don't think it makes that much sense, but it is happening now. So I think going forward, once one cruise line does it, most of them normally do the same thing. On Disney, it's a contest. I should have picked up the glittery duck and I would have won a $100 gift card. Interesting. What is your favorite part of the world to cruise in? If I could only pick one cruise destination forever to cruise on, I would stick with Norway, I think, because it's so easy for us. It is so pretty. But then again, I love going to warm places too. Norway's not the warmest place to go to. But I like cruising, Mediterranean, Baltic cruises are very, very interesting. Canary Islands are nice. Cruising in Asia is the best cruise I've ever taken. Cruising out of New York, cruising out of Florida, fantastic. So yes, don't make me choose just one, please. Solo traveling, do you like it? Best line for solo traveling. I can't really cruise solo anymore. If you saw the inside of my messages I get now, you would understand why I just can't. It's just not a thing. I'm not putting myself in that situation. Being on the internet I've got to look after myself first. So not cruising solo anymore, but I have done a little bit in the past. I've stayed in, solo cabins when I've been with friends, and then that's been fine. But I have the best cruise lines for solo cruises on my website, emmacruises.com, search solos. Everything is in there. All my recommendations are there. Any plans to go on Ambassador? Not at the minute, but they are very cheap. Very cheap and very interesting. I think it would fit well with my brand of, budget cruising. They're a budget British cruise line, but we will see. We will see. Is the Mediterranean at the end of June too hot or humid? Thinking MSC Seaview. It depends what you're comparing it to. If you're coming from Southampton and going to the Mediterranean, it's going to be hotter and humider. But if you're coming from Florida, it's going to be so chill for you. So it depends. It's not particularly, most of the places I've been in the Mediterranean, it's not that hot, humid, sticky heat. It's not the same as being in Florida kind of heat. It's more sunny, There's a difference. Time to come to the Pacific. Oh, yes, absolutely. Do you think cruising will again be a viable alternative for flying? I don't think it will ever really be an alternative just because it takes so long. But based on my airport experiences for the last little while, I'm very happy my next cruise does not involve flying. Very, very happy. My flight back was cancelled. Everyone I know, at least 75% of people I know have taken a flight recently. It's been cancelled. So, stressful. Claire says, what do you think about Ambassador discouraging disabled cruisers from using their line? I don't know what that means. I haven't heard anything about them discouraging disabled passengers. It's tricky because they have an older ship, I guess, so there's some kind of limitations there. But I don't think any cruise line would want to discourage any passengers. That just doesn't make sense. Cruise boys say, our cruise next Sunday involves flying. Well, I cross my fingers for you guys, and I really hope it works out. But yeah, I thought, oh, I've been to airports loads of times. It's always every summer it's in the news about travel chaos. It'll be fine. It was the worst airport experiences I've ever had for sure. Absolutely. Um, yes. And thankfully I only had an hour to go. I only had 1 hour flight. Do people recognize you from your YouTube videos? Yes, they do. Depends on where I am. If I'm on an American cruise line, all the time, all the time. If I'm on kind of a more niche Swedish ferry, not so much. But even on this Viking barge trip, there were 19 guests. One person followed me. So it's really, really odd. It was so nice, though. It was really, really nice. Flying back from San Francisco in September and nervous, doing a 3-night repositioning cruise. Well, there's nothing you can do about it. Absolutely nothing you can do about it. If your flight gets cancelled, do you have to pay for a new flight, or do airlines just move you to a new flight? Talking about my last flight that was cancelled was very recent. It was with British Airways. They cancelled my flight, but they let me pick another flight. They cancelled off my luggage though, and I had to rebuy the luggage. But they didn't refund me the full flight, thankfully. But also they said you can't go back to Heathrow, which is where your car is. So I had to go to a different airport and go across. They've told me they don't want wheelchairs on board. Simple. My goodness. I don't know what to say to that. That is bonkers. And I can't see how a company can say that without getting in big trouble. Yeah, Jim says, because of your bike and barge cruise, I thought I see if they do a Christmas one. They do, and it's sold out. Yes, this is what I mean. Like it's limited capacity on there. So there's not much more they can do other than, they can't stick in extra cabins. They can't extend it. It's a barge. But they do a Christmas cruise, and the Christmas cruise is not cycling. It's just a Christmas markets kind of cruise, which is cool. When do you think the flight cost and delays will go back down? Right now it's out of control, so this may stop people from cruising. I think as soon as the summer's over, things will get better, to be quite honest. It's just, I don't know. I don't know what's happened, but it is bonkers. Larry says, flying to Paris for 8 days before a British Isles cruise. That's good. I think you need to allow a few days. I have family who was supposed to be flying back to the US. Their flight was cancelled, and the next time they could get back home was 4 or 5 days later. They had to stay here for 5 days to get back home. So, yeah. I think that's kind of a benefit of, if you book a trip with a travel agent, if you do book a trip with a travel agent or with the cruise line with flights in it, say I book a cruise through travel counselors who I work with, and the flight's cancelled, it's on them to sort it out. It's not on me. If I book my own flights and I book my own cruise, my flight's cancelled, that's tough. I might miss the cruise and I lose all the money, but the cruise line doesn't care. So I think at the minute, it's definitely a good idea to use a travel agent, even if you haven't done before, or look at packages. It's safer. Yeah, good luck to everyone flying EasyJet. Good luck to everyone who's going near an airport. I'm happy to be not. Amy says, do cruise lines do random COVID testing on board? No, cruise lines really don't care that much anymore. I'm going to be honest with you. Most of them still have an embarkation test, but that is the last time you'll hear COVID mentioned. It's almost back to normal. Cruise boys, what is your top tip for cruising with celebrity? It is to go to the the cafe, where they have 3 jars of cookies all the time. Get those. They're fantastic. They're probably the best. I think probably the best cruise ship cookies that are like made on board, I think. And always 3 types. Normally one's gluten-free. Very, very good. Very, very good. What is the biggest and smallest cruise ships you've been on? So the smallest would be this Merlin barge, which we had 19 guests on board. So that's tiny. Biggest, probably 5,500 passengers, I think. So yeah, from like 20 to 5,500, completely crazy. Yeah. Are these flying problems just international or Europe issues? I think it's just everywhere. Please correct me if I'm wrong, and if everything is fine outside of Europe, but it doesn't seem great. There's been talk in previous live streams of a good USA travel agency for cruising, but I misplaced my note. A reminder. If I'm looking for cruises, and I'm talking to someone who's in the US, I normally suggest they look at vacations to go as a place to start. You can filter by price per night. It's very easy to use, and then you can book with them. It's all right. It's fine. It's not particularly personalized service. It's just kind of a bish bash bosh done. But if that's what you want, that's fine. Or you can find an agent who you trust in the US. I'm working on it. It gets to the point now where I have to turn people away because I can't book them, which is really annoying because I just need someone I can kind of trust. But yes, start on vacations to go, even if you're not from the US, just for ideas. That's how I always find things. Go on the click a month, search price per night, book the cheapest one. That's what I normally do. Are lanyards really necessary? No. Get rid of that. You do not need a lanyard on a cruise. No, never, ever, ever. I'll show you what I have for my cruise card. But yeah, same. Lanyards, I've only ever worn those at work. Makes me feel like I'm at work. Don't want to do it. What I have is this on the back of my phone. So a card goes in there. I did have my credit card in here. I took it out because I don't want to put my card on the internet. But yeah, that's what I have. I always have my phone on me. Never lose my phone. Here's a £10 note for demonstration, like that. So that's what I have. These are, I don't know, like £3 or £4 on Amazon, these little sticky things. But yeah, you definitely don't need a lanyard. And a lanyard, I love I just showed my card. Luckily, you can't see anything on there, but you definitely don't need a lanyard. Definitely not. And it kind of, the people who do have the lanyards are normally the first time cruisers. It's kind of a thing. Jim says, you just did a Britishism. 5,500. Here in the US, we'd say 5,500. Yeah, 5,500. I would have to think. I'd have to convert that in my head. That doesn't mean anything to me. We don't really say things in hundred. I wouldn't say 1,500, 2,500, 2,500. 2,500. Yes. The 100 just makes it feel, it just feels smaller. Don't know. Maybe that's why. I don't know. Hate lanyards, feel like I'm at a conference. Yes. No, I hate them. Absolutely hate them. No, definitely not. I will say though, when we did our Marella cruise, we had the thing with the schedule on it each day. That was on a lanyard, but that was more like being at a festival. So that was kind of useful. Larry has used AAA Travel for 30 years. That sounds good. I don't know about them, but I'll put them on my research list. Thanks, Larry. Greetings from London. Always speaking thousands, not hundreds. Yes. Anna says, a lanyard makes her feel official and like I belong somewhere. Yeah, I think it's just whatever relationship you have with them. I've only ever worn them when I've worked. In my office, I had to wear one. When I worked in a shop, I had to wear one. So it's just no, it's not for me, Has anyone used the MSC sofa beds that turn into bunk beds? I've not used those ones, MSC ones. I don't think. Maybe I have. I don't know. But I have used the sofa bed, bunk bed things. Not together, actually. No, that is a lie. On MSC, the sofa bed is the bunk bed, isn't it? I'm thinking of two different things. But I have been on bunk beds and I have been on sofa beds, and they've been okay. Even, as an adult, that's all right. Your drinking vessels seem very large. Where do you get them? This is a standard glass. It's just close to my camera. This is a very normal one. Less than a pint, I think. Interesting. AAA or AAA, yep. What is your idea of the future of cruises? Any changes to ships and services or more exotic locations? It is tricky to keep pushing. Every cruise line wants to be the first cruise line to go to somewhere or the first cruise line to have something. And at some point, where does that go? I think the trend really going forward is it's bigger ships. I know not everyone wants to hear that, but you can get such cheap cruises on bigger ships because they can pile them high and they can sell them cheap. I'm looking at another MSC cruise at the minute. I think I'm going to book it because it's about, I don't know, £55-60 a night. And how can you argue with that? I'm looking at staying in a Premier Inn the night before, and that's more expensive than the cruise. And the cruise is going to be so much nicer, even if it was just the cabin, let alone the food, the entertainment, the everything. Oh, Cruise Boys. Yeah, Cruise Boys. If anyone knows about this bunk bed situation, it'll be the Cruise Boys. Covered the sofa bed on our Grandiosa cruise on December last year. I'm sure on their channel they'll have some sort of some sort of something. And Josh says it's very, very comfortable. He is 9. Yes, Josh wouldn't lie to us either. He wouldn't. Oh, yeah. I don't think I can read some of these swear words in the comments. Are there chapels or services on cruises? Normally there's chapels. There's not normally services, I don't think, but there's a place on most cruises where you can go if you want to. Any idea how much the Xmas cruise on the Barge is? It is sold out now, but I think it was around, I did look at it. It's only a short cruise. It was like 4 or 5 nights. And I think it was just over €1,000 maybe, but say around €200 per night. But that one is sold out now. Maybe they should do more like that because that does seem very, very popular. Did you go to the chef's table on Iona? No, I was on the cruise with my brother, and that's not the type of thing that me and Max would do. I have done chef's table on P&O and a couple of other cruise lines, but only when it's been, I'm there with journalists or I'm there with someone. If I'm there by myself, that's not something that interests me. I did chef's table on Merlin because there was only 19 of us. But yeah, I don't understand. I don't understand the interest in, I don't know, chefs. Yeah. I meant captains. If I said chefs, I meant captain on the Merlin. But no. Lizzie says, my over 6-foot son enjoyed the bunk beds. There you go then. They are set up for adults, They are set up for adults. Brett said, how did you get into this line of work? So for me, I took my first cruise, I was 11. I took a cruise again when I was 14, then 17. Every couple of years I took a cruise. So I thought that cruising was fun. And I thought everyone else knew that cruising was fun. So when I was 19, I think, I tried to get my friends to come on their first cruise. And the reaction I got from them was so crazy to me. It was so strange. They said, oh, that sounds really boring. And I'd been cruising on Norwegian and MSC before that. Like, I knew there were water slides on board. It was definitely not boring, but they thought it was boring. They thought it was fixed dining. They thought it was dress codes every day. They basically thought it was the Titanic, and they had not updated their thoughts since then. So I went on a Cunard cruise, and I was like, what on earth is this? This is not what I expected, and this is what people think cruising is like. So I started a website. It was just a joke. I just thought it would be funny, and I started writing on it. About a year later, after that, I started a YouTube channel, and I did the website and my YouTube channel every evening, every weekend for about 5 years. And then last year, I left my day job, and now full-time, I'm Emma Cruises, which is absolutely amazing. But I do wonder how I used to motivate myself. I was talking about this earlier. I used to go to work, go to the gym, have dinner, and then write about something or edit something. And I'm so thankful that I did that. Thank goodness I did, because I built myself a business where I could give myself the job that I wanted. But it was a lot. It was a lot. On Celebrity, is there a specialty restaurant you like? We'll be going on Reflection next year. I think on Celebrity, to be honest, my favorite place is the buffet. It's the best buffet I've ever had on a cruise ship. And the food is good everywhere. So, yeah, I don't know. If I was going on a celebrity cruise right now by myself, I wouldn't be paying for any specialty restaurants. But I'm not really a specialty, restaurant kind of person. Just trying to remember. I did do Celebrity Silhouette last year. I have a video about that on my channel. If you check that out, we did every specialty restaurant, I think. There was one that was really nice. It was right at the back. I went there with my mum. I can't remember what it was, though. But if you watch the video, that was my favorite one. Darren says, when is the next Electric Sunset cruise going on sale? Well, I don't think they're doing one for next year, to be honest. I think they're doing one in 2024. I did hear rumors that it will be announced in July, but we're in August now, so not sure what happened with that one. Yeah, exactly. When I tell people I cruise, they're always so surprised. They say, don't only old people cruise. Exactly that. On the Barge, wasn't the captain also the chef? Yes. So the Barge was owned by a husband and wife. Both of them are captains. They worked on the other river ships before they bought the Merlin. But yes, Christina was the chef. She was breakfast, lunch, and dinner chef and second captain. So yeah, I suppose so. She didn't join us for dinner though, because she was busy cooking dinner. Have you ever cruised with Windstar? I want to, but it seems expensive, especially solo. I love the idea of the small ships and the water sports platforms. I have never cruised with Windstar, so that's an easy one to answer, but it's definitely something I'm interested in. It's definitely aspirational type of cruise line for me. It's definitely a bucket list kind of thing. If you would like to see me do a Windstar cruise, please comment and say, Emma, do a Windstar cruise, and then I'll ask Windstar, to be honest, because that is not in my budget. But if you do want to comment, Emma, do a Windstar cruise, oh, that would be something. That would be an amazing story. Hello to John, who is better late than ever. Thank you so much, John, and thank you for my super chat. You're not late. I don't expect you to come and be on time and stay for this hour. I just see this as being, I'm here for the hour. If you want to come, you can come. Sometimes I have guests. Sometimes they don't come to the live streams, but it is all good. It is all good. So hopefully Kabir, I think he will probably realize later when he goes to do the live stream and I'm not there because I've already done it. And then we'll probably do it next week, maybe, if he's free. But I feel bad because I know he's going to feel bad. Arriving in Southampton next week and would like tips on the best way to get to London. Any thoughts? If the trains are going, it is the train. Absolutely the easiest way is the train. I would not recommend driving into London. All the time I get messages about driving in London. I don't drive in London. I'll never drive in London. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend driving in London. It's expensive. It is busy. It is stressful. If the trains work, they're very, very easy from Southampton to London. Very easy. I've done it so many times. If not, you can get coach transfers, which are pretty good. There's a couple of companies that do it, but I would say either train or the coach would be the recommended. Train is ideal if you can. How would you compare the Royal Caribbean buffet with the Celebrity buffet? They're almost the same, you know. It'd be really hard to compare them. It's the same company after all. Really, so yeah, I can't. That's impossible. That is impossible. Both good though, both very, very good. My comments are jumping around. Thank you, Cruise Boys. Emma, do a Windstar cruise. Emma, do a Windstar cruise. Thank you so much, everyone. Very helpful. Emma, do a Windstar cruise. Can't afford Windstar either. Yes, my thoughts. Yeah, Cruise Boys are booked Viking, so that's wiped them out. Yes, very, very fancy. Oh, Kathy has actually done a Windstar cruise. Cool. Did one in the Caribbean and it was great. It does look amazing, but it very much looks like, you know, one of those bucket list trips. But it would be a great story for this channel, wouldn't it? I think you guys know what type of cruises I do. You know, the MSC cruise I'm about to book in the inside cabin, that's very, very Emma. And if I do the Windstar cruise, it's very much still Emma's perspective on a Windstar cruise. You know what I mean? So I have booked my first Azamara cruise, but it's going to be very much Budget Cruises' impression of Azamara cruises. Is it, you know, we will see. I have no idea. Thank you to Mouse. Thank you, Mouse, for becoming a channel member. You have access to 102 podcasts, I think, our Discord chat, various other things. If you leave me a comment, I filter them by channel members to make sure I prioritize your comments. So comment on things. Thank you so much for your comments. Avoid driving in London. Yes, I would always avoid driving in London. Yes, Thomas, thank you very much, everybody. I will pitch an idea to them and we will see how that goes. You're a great team, I think. Thank you so much. I mean, without you, I'd still be working in data development, and that's not worth thinking about. Have you been on the Viking Star? I've not been on Viking Star. I did Viking Sky. I think they're all the same, right? They're all exactly the same. So yes, but it was very, very long time ago. There's some videos on my channel. If you want to watch them, you can, but I wouldn't necessarily. Don't judge me on those. It was a long time ago. I was trying my best. How do I become a member, says Carol? There should be a here-ish next to the subscribe button. There should be a join button. That's for the channel membership. It's like all of this stuff is free on YouTube, but then I do exclusive stuff for the members, if that makes sense. Cruise Boys are booked on Viking Jupiter. Yes, Viking Jupiter. I did make myself a cup of tea, but it's a bit warm for tea, gotta be honest. come and get Lou in there. Yeah, Lou is our poor Lou. He likes Viking cruises, and since then we've reduced him to just being the Viking guy. But thanks so much. Chris says, I believe you have enough support to take over a Windstar cruise. That would be amazing. How do you find the time for blogging and cruising? I do both at the same time now. You know, I'm my own boss now. So, you know, last night I was editing till about 11:30 in the evening. I started about 9 a.m. But when I get in the zone, I want to use that. So swings and roundabouts, swings and roundabouts. Thank you so much, Bonnie, for my Windstar fund. Thank you very much. They're expensive. They're not cheap Windstar cruises, but it would be good. It would be good. Is it only me who thinks P&O prices are extremely cheap? Got a 7-night fly cruise for under £500 per person. They can be cheap, yes. I'm going on Iona again next year, and I paid something like £380 for the week. It's from Southampton, so there's no flights, but that's like MSC MSC prices. And Iona is very nice. I already cruised on Iona, so I'm really looking forward to that one. What's your hair donation? I vote for keeping your hair short. It looks cute. Thank you very much. Got a Mediterranean cruise on MSC for $745 US inside cabin plus $100 credit. Nice. Yeah, MSC. I mean, I wouldn't, you know, for me, I like to pay £100 a night for a cruise, regardless of the cruise. The Azamara cruise I've just booked under £100 per night. That's where I'm comfortable. I've done cruises down to £38 per night. That was my cheapest cruise that I've done. And anywhere in that range is good for me. Occasionally, if I'm getting something, you know, extra drinks package or something, I might go over that. But that's where I'm happy. And MSC and P&O always fall into that range, which is good. You know, if you look at hotels, they normally cost that much. So I do wonder how they make money off of me. If money was no object, what cruise would you take? I would be heading over to Australia right now. But I would be stopping off somewhere. It's a very, very long way to Australia. I don't think I would do the traditional world cruise in terms of like 3 or 4 months on one ship, but I would make my own. You know, I would do probably some flying, some on land time. You know, I do like being on land sometimes, and some cruises, and I would make it. Iona in February, we might be going on the same cruise, Northern Europe. Yes, it is. I'm taking my nieces on that one. So I'm looking forward to family time on that cruise. That would be really good. Yeah, Bill says, jealous of the pricing you guys have in the UK and Europe. Oh, Hudson's here. Hudson, say hi. We haven't seen Hudson in a while on the live stream. So there he is. Good boy, Hudson. Hello, Hudson. You okay? Yes. Yes. Meow. Meow. Hudson's joining us. Isn't that nice? But yes, flights. Often the flights are so much more than the cruise, which is crazy. Sean says, John, we can't get a word in with Lou on the Zoom. Yes. What do you think about some cruises dropping pre-cruise testing only for cruises less than 6 nights? Interesting move. I don't understand what the difference is between a 6-night and a 7-night cruise. And I think I'm just waiting for them to drop them on all cruises. And I wish they would just hurry up and do it. To be quite honest, my personal opinion. Cruise boys say, beep, boop, Hudson has socks. Yes, Hudson has socks. That is from the Lightyear movie. The Cruise boys have just seen it. I've seen it twice already. But he has a little cat called Socks who is a robot, and he looks exactly like Hudson. And we've got Hudson here with other Hudson. Hudson and Hudson. Meow. Thank you, Christian, for my thingy. Sorry, I've lost you. There you are. Booked on Anthem. Thanks to Emma for your peppermint tea. Thank you so much. I do have the peppermint tea here. You know, I do want to drink it, but it just feels quite warm. But I'm drinking this one now, so thank you very much. Hudson's meowing. He's interested in being in this live stream for a change. Hi, Hudson. He appreciates it, I'm sure. Thank you, Thomas, for my Windstar fund. Thank you very much. We'll keep going with the Windstar fund, but oh no, Hudson's, what are you doing? He's licking baby Hudson. That's not good. He's jealous of baby Hudson because baby Hudson comes on the cruises with me. Are there any cruise lines that will allow Hudson on board? I could take Hudson on a Cunard cruise, but he'd have to stay in the category. And really, what would be the point? He would hate it. He would hate everything. So, nah, I don't think I'd want to. Shout out to Benidorm. Hello to Benidorm. What are your... it's so hard when people say, what is your favorite place to cruise to? Because there's so many possible answers to that. And it depends on who I'm with. You know, if I'm with my friends, the answer is very different to... it's very different to if I'm with my family or if I'm with somebody, you know, somebody else. Thank you, Darren, for my super chat. I'm always nervous when people say shout out something because I've been called out way too many times with the mean names. But Luca, that's okay. That's cool. Just got off Anthem 2 weeks ago. What a great ship. Yes, I cruised on Anthem of the Seas, Royal Caribbean's Anthem of the Seas, back in May. And I have a video about it on my channel. It was very good. It was very good. I was freshly head shaved to that cruise. So I've got a hat on most of the time. But I did the skydive simulator. That was amazing. Terrifying, but amazing. And yes, Royal Caribbean is a lot of fun. You know, they are the biggest cruise line. And I can see why. They know what they're doing and they do it very, very well. Peter is doing a 9-day Alaska cruise on August 15th. Finally, after 3 were cancelled. Yes, I think a lot of us are kind of just doing the cruises now that we planned 2 years ago. I've got my next cruise is a British Isles cruise, and I booked that start of 2021. Thinking this was my great idea that I had in 2021. I thought we're going to restart cruising soon. It's going to be British Isles cruises, and that's easy. I'll book one. Booked one. They cancelled it. They made way for British Isles cruises, but not my ones. One with less ports. And I did do one of those too, so it was okay. But fingers crossed. I'm hoping the weather stays good because that would be very, very nice. What is your idea of cruises in the space age? I don't think I need to worry about that, to be honest. I'm thinking about a year or two in advance as to my cruise plans. So no idea. Yeah, where is Marcus? John says, has Marcus dropped off the face of the earth? Where is Marcus? Normally he's always the first person here. And today it was Sean. Well done, Sean. Oh, poor Marcus. I have talked to Marcus since the last live stream, so he's okay. Do not worry about him. Yeah, he has work. Ugh. What is your opinion on Costa cruises? I like Costa cruises. You know, I've only ever done one Costa cruise, and you need to know what to expect when you go on a Costa cruise. But if you go on expecting something that is cheap and colourful and fun and loud, then that's what you're going to get and you'll have a great time. That was my cheapest ever cruise, £38 per night. And I'm always looking at doing more Costa cruises. It's not the same as, you know, doing a princess cruise. It's very, very different. But I like all kinds of cruises and that's what's fun. Cruise Boys are big fans of Costa. Yeah, they've done more up-to-date Costa cruise ships than me. I've only done Luminosa, who now has gone over to Carnival, I believe. So, yes. Adam is on Sky Princess next. First proper cruise. Sky Princess is going to blow your mind. Absolutely amazing cruise ship. Lou says, we drop everything for Emma's life. Yeah, crazy. Yeah, watch Emma at work, of course. Peter says, are there enough adult-only areas on Disney to build a whole cruise child-free? No. If you want my honest opinion, I don't think so, no. There is kind of an adult-only restaurant and there's an adult-only bar area. And I think the pub was adult-only. But on the ship I was on Magic. No, there are kids everywhere all the time, which you should expect if you go on a Disney cruise. If you don't like children, do not book a Disney cruise as a rule. Don't, ever. Why would... No, don't. Jason says, have you done Mediterranean cruises? I have. I've done quite a few Mediterranean cruises. It's so easy for us here in the UK. I can fly to Barcelona for like £50 round trip. Very, very cheap. So if I see a cheap Mediterranean cruise, normally in November or January, I like to do those. I think they're really, really good. You get to see so many different places in such a fast time. You know, you can do 5 countries in 7 days, which is crazy, crazy. That is one thing I'm looking forward to about my Azamara cruise, though, is they do, you know, they don't try and do 5 countries in 7 days. They do lots of places in the same country. So you actually get to know that country better. And I guess there's a place for both. Mark says there's an adult-only pool on the Magic. Yes, I think so. I don't really remember, to be honest. I do have a video about that cruise on my channel, and I did talk about that then, but I have deleted that. Joe says, Windstar, offer a replacement camera if you haven't yet. Thank you so much, Joe. Thanks for the super chat. I haven't replaced the camera yet. It's an awkward time because the new version of the camera comes out in November, I think. But I've got a couple of cruises that I need the camera for before then. So I think I will get the new one and then just sell it on eBay or something as 2-month-old camera. So I think that's kind of my best bet. I do have business cover because this is my business. I have business cruise cover, which has equipment cover, and that's the main thing I use, my main equipment. So I may be able to get something back from there, but it's not easy. You know, I have to send it off for them to say that they can't fix it, and we will see. We will see. Hearing how cheap the flights are in the UK makes me want to move. But then also I've been saying how bad it is flying in this same live stream. So yeah, sometimes very, very cheap. I mean, you can get £10, $9.99 flights if you don't want bags and you don't mind going at 3 a.m. Yeah, you might consider differently when you look at the price of gas or petrol. Yeah, but we don't need to drive anywhere. We'll just go on the train. Although the trains aren't cheap either. But yeah, that's why we leave the UK. You know, it's so much cheaper for me to fly to Spain and do a week in Spain than stay in the UK. I haven't seen too much of the UK really, you know, which is why I'm kind of looking forward to this British Isles cruise because I get to see places that aren't that far away, but are really interesting. So we will see. Have to leave for a meeting. Love the video. Have to rewatch later to see what I missed. Well, thank you so much for joining us. All of these live streams are available for catch up forever. As long as this channel exists, they will be there. We've got so many of these live streams. I started these in March of 2020, thinking, I don't know, the pandemic will last a couple of months. We'll do live streams for maybe a couple of months. You know, when I first got sent home from work, we got sent home for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. And yeah, things did kind of drag on, didn't they? Do you think that you will reverse the decision and allow bloggers to post their YouTube videos again on your Facebook page? So we made a change to our Facebook page, and it's a fantastic change. I'm not reversing it, but for the last, I don't know how many years I've had that Facebook page, 6 years, I've always let anybody post their own YouTube videos and their own blog posts, but it completely just clogged up the page with just link, and then you couldn't see the questions, you couldn't see the comments. So what we decided to do was to do like a one post a month on the first of the month where everybody puts their posts, puts their videos, puts their blog posts. And I've seen more people sharing on there because they want to do that, but they don't necessarily want to do the post. So I think it's better. And also, I mean, I don't share my own YouTube videos on Facebook. I think it does more damage than good to the videos because I can go into this for ages. I find it interesting, but people go because they're interested, but they don't really want to watch it. So I don't even share mine. So I'm not going to reverse that decision at all. We have a really great group of moderators who look after the chat. And if they didn't, I would have closed it down years ago because it's so much work running a Facebook group. You would not realize other than the fun of it, there is nothing. So absolutely not reversing that decision. Anything that makes my moderator's life easier. And I think people like it. You know, I did a vote to see if we should do this, and it was about 80% yes. So I did what the people wanted, and not reversing it. I like it. It's been so much better, even in just the last week. Thank you, Chili Billy, for the super sticker. And Mark says, how did you break your camera? I broke it on my bike and barge cruise. It jumped to its death. Yeah, so you'll see in the video, you'll see what happened to it. Luckily, it didn't happen until the end of the cruise. So most of my footage was okay, but not good. But it did die doing what it loved. It died for a good thing. Ryan lives in Florida and wants to get a shout out. Hello to Ryan in Florida. Hello. I have massive respect for anyone who lives in Florida because it is so humid there. I don't know how you live there. I mean, I've been plenty of times and it's great for a trip, but I could not live there at all. Adam says, what? There was a pandemic. Must have slept through it all. Goodness. Can you imagine? There's probably someone who's been in a coma and they've woken up. Oh, not good. Okay, so I'm going to answer one last question, and then our time is ticking, but this one's really interesting. The same 7-day Mediterranean cruise, inside cabin, $1,000 more on NCL or Royal than MSC? Is MSC that bad? Why is it such a price difference? I would pick the MSC over and over again, time and time again. Check out the MSC Sea View video on my channel. The entertainment is not as good on MSC as it would be on NCL or Royal. Traditionally, the food's not been as good on MSC, but I think the food on MSC was better than my last Royal Caribbean cruise, and the ships are really nice. So yeah, check out my MSC Sea View cruise. It's definitely not for everybody, MSC, but for $1,000, every time I would pick MSC on that one. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me for this live stream. Apologies that it wasn't what we had planned. Hopefully this is okay with you. But I will try and reschedule for next week, hopefully. But thank you so much for coming to this live stream. It's always nice to see you. And we'll be back to Friday next week. Back to the normal Friday, 5 p.m. Easy peasy. Yes, Sean just asked, are we back to Friday? Yeah, back to Friday next week for the foreseeable. So yes, I will see you all next Friday. Thanks so much, guys. Bye.